Tony, got all money. This is the Sweat Equity Podcast. I'm your host, Law Smith. Recording this in the TocoWorks office, Tocobaga Consulting, if you like the professional name of my company. Small business consulting, mostly online. We've got no catch-all phrase, so I don't know how to tell you what we are. We just get shit done. Problem-solving son. Thanks for everybody that's been giving good feedback on this podcast. It's awesome to hear people sending emails in. If you want to email any questions, we'll answer on this podcast. You can email me directly at law@tocoworks.com. Any nerd questions, any life questions, I just like to, not that I'm Socrates or Plato, but it's just fun to kind of wax on some interesting questions. So feel free to send them in. Got some good guests coming up. Excited about that. Make sure to go, if you don't like the iTunes app, make sure to check us out on Laughable. You can tag me. If I jump on someone else's podcast, it'll go, hey, here's a law over here. He's talking shop about X, Y, and Z on this podcast. It's a way to kind of tag your favorite comedian. It's free. It's on iTunes and Android, I think. And dude seems a really good guy. I only emailed the guy who's made the app, but he seems like he's on top of it. And I know a lot of other good comedians that are on there. Way better than me at stand-up, but they're on there. Good people. So let's do this real quick. I've got a quick keynote speech from USF to give you. So I did this USF Arts, University of South Florida, if you're not in the Tampa Bay area, Arts After Dark kind of program. They asked me to be the keynote speaker. And it's one of those things where it was like, okay, I don't know if y'all do this, but I'll just say yes to a lot of stuff that's 6 weeks or more in advance and then get really pissed at myself for not thinking about it since I booked that date. Because it's not, a keynote speech isn't really, they were like, you can do stand-up, but I was like, I don't want to do stand-up if it is art students that want to find out how art can help their career. And then didn't put much thought into it until I was on the drive over and I was trying to think of what to say. And then I had way too much to say about how comedy's helped my business and my life. Really, I was like, I met my wife. We may not have a beautiful fat baby right now if it wasn't for stand-up comedy. I've been doing it 11 years. It allows me to see in every man's perspective, but also try to have an angle, because not the worst thing in business necessarily if you're working with teams, but not having an angle and just proceeding with it. If you're always the middle of the road person as far as trying to innovate in a company you're in, doesn't really work. You don't have to take huge swings. You don't have to be a home run hitter and try to be that way. But, I was saying the guys that are super vanilla are kind of the worst comedians. Have an angle. You may not agree with Bill Burr, but he may not even agree with it. He might just do it for the sport of it and just do the anti-angle and then run with it. It's kind of like an attorney. You're seeing the kind of a contrarian's logic. It's a good way to look at stuff. When you write a joke, you try to see it from every perspective. When you look at business issues, you try to see it from perspective. A lot of business is that basic psychology. And so, that being applicable, as well as, let's get away from stand-up, but improv and the yes and positivity of improv in teamwork and, not putting up a shield personality-wise. It's more you let your guard down to get the best overall service out of a skit or out of your company. And I say that's an important thing I learned. I didn't get to it in this keynote. I kind of talked. I didn't know where to go because I was meandering, but it was one of those things where you walk in, it's a ballroom. This happens a lot when you do stand up. You get asked to do a festival or a Comic-Con or something, some kind of like a fetish con, or I don't know. There's this convention for everything, and somehow they want to jam stand up into that as entertainment, like it's a cruise ship. And now cruise ships are kind of legit because they do like themed ones. I want to go on the Skinnerd one day. But you walk in, this is why you need a manager or an agent, because it's like you should be asking all the questions. All right, how many kids are going to be there? What's the room like? I used to have like a checklist because it used to piss me off so bad when you do a gig and then the audio's fucked out. There's not a light on you. It's like a KFC or like a gas station fried chicken red light on you, or music lights. If you do a venue that's music and they don't have a white light, it's very easy to get. And I think eventually at one point I just carried a clamp with me that had a white light that was just bright enough on any bar stage, and I brought my own mic and mic stand that I'm looking at right now with my friend behind me watching me do this intro. But the mic stand is it's $15, and for whatever reason couldn't get one that goes up and down. Anyway, walk into this USF thing, and it's like, okay, well, there's 25 kids that kind of don't know what's going on in a room that seats 180. There's 3 cameras going, which is distracting because I can see everybody. You usually can't see everybody in a comedy club, which is good. You don't really want to, because you're gonna adjust. If I like to play off of the crowd, but sometimes it could be too much if I see that they're not having a great time, and if I'm rusty like I am on stage right now, then it becomes an issue, because it's like, oh, I'm going to just adjust to whatever this person wants, and that's not necessarily the way to go about it. So I walk in to wireless mic. Hate wireless mics. They don't work. Two things that have never really worked for me are wireless mic and starting a video conference on time. The video conference, I've never had someone that's like, it's always just, oh, I've got to download a plugin, give me 15 minutes. Or just someone completely is like, oh, we're doing video? It's like, yeah. Yeah, ho. That's why I asked for a Skype name. So that's why I told you we're doing Google Hangout. Oh, you didn't know what that is? Why didn't you Google Hangout? Find out before the meeting. So I get there. There's a younger guy doing stand-up on stage, which he asked for me to assess his stand-up in this set, in this keynote speech I gave, because I didn't know how to go about it. I get brought up, and the guy doesn't remember my name, which is always great. Always makes you feel good about your decade plus of doing stand-up. And that is what it is. That happens way more than it should. But I don't know. It's interesting. I honestly, once I got rolling, and it starts very slow, and then I start getting into football coach mode, because I think at some point I say, because I won't listen to my own speech, guys. But at some point I say, the arts don't need you. We don't need more artists necessarily. Well, I want more. Don't get me wrong. I want more artists in the world, but they're not necessary, right? We need more engineers, if anything. So when you get out there and you're doing comedy or you're doing whatever you want to do, there's going to be 50 other people like you And I forgot to bring up this thing that when you go to a casting, if you ever do a TV commercial casting, you'll literally walk in a room and it'll be like 20 people that are a derivative of you almost. It's like they tried to clone you, but it messed up. It's strange. It's creepy. And so that's kind of how it is when you want to do something in the whatever, call it art, call it comedy, call it painting, music. You're not entitled to it. And I didn't even get into like supply and demand of it. There's supply and there's so much supply of mediocre art out there that mediocre art, the people that work hard kind of move up, and they're not mediocre anymore, or they're at least making money, which for a lot of people is what they want to do. Hey, I only work an hour a night is what a lot of stand-ups say. It bothers me because it's almost the other way around. The on-stage part is it's not really working, and the 23 other hours is your brain's always kind of moving. So, without further ado, listen to my rambling keynote speech at University of South Florida, St. Pete campus for arts after dark. Boom. I've made it. It's all good. Why don't we do this? Since I didn't know what I was walking into, and we're just a little bit smaller than a normal AA meeting. So why don't we become friends and let's get right here if we can. And it'll make it more fun. Yeah, the comics too. Yeah. Come on down this way. We're all friends. It's gonna get a little intimate. It's gonna get a little weird. Is this mic good? Is it popping in and out? Yeah. Okay, that's great. Well, I mean, I don't really need it, but is this all right? Okay, this is, wow, keynote speaker. This is it. This is what I dreamed of. I mean, right? There's more people bitching about something downstairs than up here, and this is where 11 years of stand-up has gotten me. No, look, thank you all for coming to this. This is, I don't know how to go about a speech, a keynote speech. I don't think stand-up is the right mode for this right now, because I can see everybody's face. Like, usually when you do stand-up, you can't see anybody. And now I can see all y'all's judging faces. Like, why is retarded Keith Urban on stage? Like, so I want to maybe try to make it advice-driven or some kind of pragmatic advice, and you guys can critique me as I'm going along, because I can't hear how the mic is. But you have a better one in your pocket? No? All right.
Hey, it's the same. It's not the same. Do you want to try this one?
Yeah. Is that bother? Am I just anal about this? Not the good kind of anal?
This one makes you forget people's names, though, so like...
This is better, right? This sounds better?
The reverberations that are
Doing AV. I'm doing my own audio check. I don't know, what y'all... I kind of want to just go, what y'all want to talk about stand-up. I tried to write something on the car right here, but I couldn't. I was trying to turn that off, so way out. Are y'all aspiring comedians? Yeah? That's all? Yeah? Oh, that's all. Yeah, man. How old are you? 21. How long have you been doing it?
Since last June.
Okay. Do you like it? Yeah. Let's talk about that set, since everybody's... How do you feel? Well, look, so there's a thing about, like, critiquing younger stand-up sets, like, Because eventually you'll go, well, who the fuck are you? Like after like note number 3. So I'm nobody. I've been doing it a while. I've been a road dog, but you know, I kind of chose to get off the road a little bit to work on a business I run called Tocobaga Consulting. And so I think the theme of this was supposed to kind of parlay when comedy has kind of helped a career, right? Yeah? Yeah, I'm prepared. So I mean, comedy's the best thing that really happened to me, or I had it always. I don't know, it's weird. Comedy's kind of like foot speed, right? You kind of have it, you can work on it, but you can't get aggressively faster. Like you can get 20% better in a way. Or you can hone it in a different way. Maybe you're better at a triple jump. That might be improv. I don't know why I'm using a track analogy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, part of comedy is, the thing about comedy that's weird is that everybody thinks they have a good sense of humor. Right? It's like music in a way. Everybody thinks their music taste is the shit. Yeah. And you're like, dude, you like Creed. Like, you can't tell me shit about music. You're talking to me about Allman Brothers, and you like Vertical Horizon? Like, yeah. So that might be too old of a reference. What's up? Come in. We're all friends. But yeah, comedy is that thing about it's really tough because it's I had a whole thing about duality, right? So comedy's it's really easy and it's really difficult at the same time. Does that make sense? Anybody fucked up in here? Because I'm blowing minds in here. But sometimes it's the easiest thing you'll ever do. And then sometimes it's in a ballroom and there's 90% empty seats and you're struggling because you can see everybody's face. But I'm trying to figure out the through line. Let's go back to your set. How do you feel about it?
I give it it was a set.
You give it a set, all right?
Yeah, it wasn't my best.
Is that how USF grades? Hey, you did a history class. You did. But see, this interaction's easy because I have the mic. We can go on this part about talking to the crowd and stuff. It's always easy on my side because I always have the mic. And no matter what, I can drown out everybody. Everybody's scared of being heckled, right? Yeah. It's a big fear. Like if you fuck up and people sense it, they're going to attack you on it. And really, honestly, the game is to wait them out because most people run out of juice. Like there's not a lot of guys that can really yell for like 3 minutes straight about what they want to do. I've never been heckled by someone yelling that's wasted and it had like 3 ping pong back and forth in the dialogue where I was like, okay, well done, sir, checkmate. Like, it's always like, yeah, what you talking about, your dick, let's do it. Like, and it just fades out, he runs out of steam. So there's always this weird dynamic where comedy feels like, stand-up comedy feels like it's a conversation, but it's masquerading as a conversation. It's really a one-way conversation, and it's supposed to feel like this is the first time I've ever thought of these thoughts and talked to y'all about them. So, why do you feel meh about your set?
Well, I mean, I want to eventually get off book.
Get off what?
Off book, not look at my set list.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
I don't know. Like, I didn't drop my new stuff,
Don't drop the new yet. Is that what the kids call it? That new. So, what I would say is, when I was 21 and did stand-up, I started when I was 19, and I did it sparingly. One thing I always had a problem with until kind of my mid-20s is I didn't have enough life experience. To do stand-up and to do anything comedically, are you getting out of here?
I have work. I
Bullshit. That is a fake uniform you're wearing. No, I saw you, I was like, is she like having problems? You're like, you can't see me if I do it like this. No, tell everybody downstairs to come up here. Wow. Yeah, that's a good sell. So I was always worried I didn't have enough life experience. Like, that's a big thing. I kind of grew up, not in a bubble, but I grew up here in Tampa and, like, just kind of didn't get out of my comfort zone. And you got to have a life worth kind of talking about, something that's interesting, or at least observing crazy shit. Are y'all, did spring break just happen or is it about to happen? All right, so y'all just had some crazy shit that went down, right? Jesus Christ, guys. Is this Freaks and Geeks squad in here? Like, what? Okay, so let's do that. So the worst thing when you're doing comedy is just middle of the road, right? Right? It's because think of every sitcom. It's about contrast. Comedy comes out of contrast, same with drama. That's why you got the smiley face mask and the not so smiley face mask in the theater department. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So the contrast creates conflict. So y'all, if you did nothing for spring break, you go so extreme on that, right? I did less than zero. I did nothing. Netflix kept asking me if I'm okay. Like, are you still watching? Because I'm worried. Like, that kind of thing. And you just kind of go that direction. But the worst is to be middle of the road. No opinion. No anything. The worst kind of thing is like, oh yeah, that comedian? Yeah. Vanilla shit. Yeah, real vanilla. Real vanilla, liked it, middle of the road, stayed in the middle lane, never too fast, never too slow. So that's kind of one thing to kind of look at for comedy or for any career path you're going on. You may not always get to say what you want, but try to have an opinion set, like lodged in the hopper, right? You're going to be in some shitty office. Most of y'all, we're going to, look, work is work. You don't want to do it. We're going to all be there, but if you kind of make a game out of it and try to make it fun and figure out opinions and try to figure out strategy while you're in the office, that can make it a fun kind of atmosphere. Welcome. What's up? I can't not, see, this is the thing, I can't not talk to everybody that walks in because it's like, you lost? What's going on? Okay, cool. All right, good. You're here. All right, welcome. All right. What was your name? I'm sorry. Bobby.
Yeah.
Dude, you might be too cool for stand-up. I don't know. Like, you're too chill as fuck. Like,
I have depression and anxiety.
Perfect. All right, you're in. Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's that I shouldn't say that in real life, right? That's the contrast. I shouldn't say anything to applause depression or any of that. But the fact that we go the opposite direction, that's where that comedy's at. There's the math. If you guys are math geeks like I am, there you go. It's kind of logic in a way. What else y'all want to know? Anything? God, this is worse because I have comedian buddies of mine just like watching the whole time. Bobby. Yes, Bobby.
You should just invite random people to hop on the stage.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Judging by the faces I see, everyone just shit a little bit, like, oh, like kind of a pop, like, oh, shit. Shouldn't have had that mocha. So I'll try to weave it into kind of a career path. So comedy, and for those of you, welcome, come on in. The water's warm. No, you gotta come up this way. Come on, we're having fun. Oh yeah. I'm like an evangelical preacher. We're gonna get real crazy up in here. Yeah. Don't worry, it's not like a Gallagher show or anything. No, it's that reference? Okay. Y'all know who Gallagher is, right?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Look, it's the pride of Tampa. It was the dude, I'm going to look like him one day, kind of, like I'm on my way because I got receding. I'm going to keep the hair long, but I'm going to be bald on top. You know? And he smashes watermelon.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. You know it's a good reference when I got to explain the whole dude? But he grew up, he went to Plant High School, so yeah, Gallagher, what? Mm-hmm, yeah. I'm full of fun facts like that. I love Tampa. This is a good place to start doing comedy. It is, because it's like a big mulligan if you really have a career in it. No, you can fuck up a billion times over, like starting my speaking career. No, I did this. But hello. Oh. I like the smile. All right. He was like, hey, what's up? I'd swipe right, sir. I'd swipe right. So, it's a Tinder joke. I love it. It's like a campfire right here. That's how big this speech is. What do y'all want to know, Bobby? What, you had something else? Yes? No?
Getting off my set list eventually. How would I reach that point?
Memorize? I mean, look, a lot of life's problems, just like that, there's simple answers. They're hard to do, right?
Yeah.
It takes discipline. You have to go, okay, I got to sit down. And I used to do this. I try to make myself be OCD. I have to write out my set, like in an outline form, and I just keep writing because I have a terrible fucking memory, so I just keep writing. That's how I used to study for tests too. C+ student, but like I just keep writing it out until I couldn't not think about what it looked like on a legal pad, because it's dorky to do that, it's nerdy to do that by yourself. Keep writing out your bits. Just so you can memorize it, but it's fucking 4 times worse when you don't remember it, when you gotta go, what was I talking about? Ice cream, I think. Like that creates that weird sense that you're not putting it into this. So, what else? Any other comedy questions? I wish I was really high right now. What? Bobby.
Yes. Okay, so I would like your unsolicited advice on my set, please.
I didn't see the whole thing.
No.
Unsolicited advice on your set. I didn't see the whole thing. And to be honest, get used to comics not paying attention to your set, because we're on our own ass. Because when I walked in here, I was like, oh boy, how am I going to sweat this speech out? What am I going to talk about to 12 people that are like kind of lost maybe? And just thought this is a nice place to sit? I don't know. Like that's where my head was. The suicide thing I kind of liked. What the bit went?
Yeah.
Something about killing yourself. Oh, killing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys missed it, but it was awesome. It was Gallagher worthy. Awesome. But I like it because it is that very brunt. You're dealing with your issue on stage, right?
Yeah.
Something in that mania kind of area where your brain is.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think it's going to be tough. I didn't see your old set, but I don't know if you do that. If you are talking about something mundane, like just very observational, and then you go to that extreme from one joke to the next, it's going to put a weird kind of tempo, right?
Right.
If you're that guy, then try to be that guy most of the way through. But really, in the beginning, you just focus on writing jokes.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter is a great tool for that. I know a lot of people shit on like Twitter comics, but I think it's a good tool to get you writing. The thing about writing is you just do it. You just fucking write, right?
Yeah.
Right? Right? Can I have some? All right. It's like the kind of thing. The worst part about like trying to get in shape is just you got to get off your ass and get to the track or get to the gym or something like that. That's the hard part usually. Once you get in the door, you're just like, all right, I'm focused here, let's do it. And then you feel better than you did when you came out of it. The other thing when you start out doing comedy, be it stand-up or improv, get as many reps as you can. Doesn't matter. Like you should be trying to get out probably 300 mics a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can. There's a mic every night in the Tampa Bay area. You're gonna try. You're gonna lose a lot of money in gas. That's fine. If you really want to do it, that's what you have to do. You have to sacrifice your time That's a lot. And you need to get as many fucking reps as you can. That's just like anything in the career world. You need to get reps in somewhere, because I had zero skills going into a workforce, and I kind of was able to talk my way into a mutual fund company in LA because the guy just liked that I was kind of funny in the interview. I didn't know shit about mutual funds. I didn't know shit about anything about working in an office that's not cool to fart at your desk, like stuff like that. That's like, no, oh, I should have known that. This is like, let's see, I'm 32. I know I look 42, but this was back in the day when you had to print out what you wanted to read online and then take it in the bathroom because the phones weren't smart yet. Yeah, it's fucking dedication, man. Sorry, you're eating. So that's my thing, is like, try to get reps, try to get some skill you can do mindlessly, right? If you really have a passion for comedy and you want to learn it and you want to do it, you're going to have to do whatever you can that, hey, maybe you're a great copywriter during the day. That's a great job if you can do that. If you want to be a writer, try to be a copywriter, because that's all about economizing words. And a lot of joke writers, it's about getting all the fat off. Am I getting played off like the Apollo? It's like, like if you want to be an improv person, try to have a job that is personable. Because improv's kind of the opposite of stand-up. It's positive, it's yes and, you're with the team, you're always talking, you're building to something in a scene. Where am I at? What do I understand?
About 2 or 3 minutes.
I'll do this fucking all day. No, but Warren knows. He's heard me just go on a rant for 45 minutes without any response. But I'd say, like, if you really want to do it, it's just like anything in life. Hey, you really want to, when y'all get out of college, you really want to be, there's plenty of people in the arts, right? You're not special. You're not. Like, seriously, like, you'll think you're special, and then you'll get out, and you'll go, oh, fuck, there's like 50 other people just like me out there, so out fucking work them. The ability for y'all to look up shit on YouTube and learn a skill is amazing. I taught myself a lot of shit. That's why I could be a small business consultant. No one sat down and was like, here's how Adobe Illustrator works. I was just like, fuck it, I gotta sit here because I gotta make money because I want to do the thing at night that I love. I love stand-up. That's how I met my wife. If I didn't do stand-up, we may have not been married and had a beautiful baby, fat baby right now. So that I have to run out of here and go back home to. But that's the thing, it's like, that's the only real pragmatic advice, and John and Jared will attest to that. You gotta do some grind out shit during the day. You can still do that well too. People think you just have to be have a shit job during the day so you can do whatever at night or vice versa. You should try to do both at the same time really well. Because once you start figuring out, it's that hedonistic treadmill, right? Y'all know what that is? I didn't know what it was called until like a week ago. I feel smart. So, what's up, huh? No, it's that thing of like, you get to this level, right? You've been fighting so hard to get to here. And then when you get to there, 3 days later, it doesn't feel that great. Right? You want to get to that next thing. And that's a good thing. That's not a bad, it shouldn't be called treadmill. It should be a hedonistic stair climber or whatever. But like, that's that thing. That's why you need to have that passion and just always keep inching up and try to make goals and get up there. Plan out what you want to do, write it out on a fucking piece of paper, and I'm done. Thank you all very much.
This is a gift. I don't know what's in it, so like, watch out.
Fleshlight?
Maybe.
Zach Morgan is going to be the host for the night.